Hello, my most amazing artists. How are you today?
Ready to create!
Awesome, let's get started. The word of the week is pattern.
Woo woo!
Let's take a closer look at pattern.
Pattern is the repetition of the elements of art or anything else. You can have patterns of line, patterns of shape, or even patterns of color. Pattern is everywhere. Here are some examples of patterns you can use within your design. If you like any of these patterns, just be sure to come back to this spot and pause the video, and you could add them in your composition.
This month, we are talking about the artist Faith Ringgold. You might remember last week, we took a look at some of these slides and we talked about her life and her artwork. And we also mentioned that she wrote a book called Tar Beach, which she is going to be reading today. I'm going to share a video with you of her reading her book, Tar Beach. She loves to use pattern in her artwork. You might remember from last week, I asked you to create a picture. I'm still not done this one yet. I have to add a little bit more color, but I asked you to create this border using lines and designs and different patterns. And we're gonna be doing that again this week. Last week, I also asked you to think about something you like to do with your family and then illustrate that story. So I was illustrating a story of my family and I taking a walk at our new favorite hiking spot. And it was actually really nice that day because it was kind of like raining leaves. So we were trying to catch them as we walked through the forest actually. So this week is going to be a little different. We're still going to be inspired by Faith Ringgold and her quilts, but we're going to do a little bit of a different drawing this time. So let's get started and work on it together.
Friends, before you get started, please make sure you watch the video of Faith Ringgold reading her book, Tar Beach. When you're done, you're going to come back over here, and just like we started last week, you are going to make borders around your edges. You can see I've already started that here. If you did not have a ruler, you can use any kind of straight edge. And again, we broke the sections up into smaller squares or rectangles all around the edges. Exactly the same like you did last week. So this should be easy for you. This is a repeat. Sometimes artists use the same ways of doing things or the same ideas to make different artwork. So that is what we are doing this week. We're using our past knowledge to make something new. You can see here I'm adding all different kinds of pattern in each one of my, I wanted them to be squares, but I think they're a little bit more rectangular, which is totally fine. But you too want to add patterns in each one of these areas all around your picture. Remember, when you can't think of any more patterns, just repeat the ones you've already used. If you want, you could always rewind this video and check out some of the pattern examples that I've included in the beginning. You actually may notice I am using a fine point Sharpie to do my designs, and if you have one, you can try that too. If not, a pencil works great. I just thought you would be able to see it better if I used a Sharpie. In Faith Ringgold's book, Tar Beach, she mentions that you can go anywhere you want. All you have to do is fly. I want you to think about where you would like to fly to or what you would like to fly over and why. In this picture, I am flying over the ocean. This ocean is actually in Ocean City, Maryland. We used to have a place over there, and it holds some of my fondest memories. I always wanted to get super close to the sunsets and the sunrises, so I would love to fly over them. Once you finish your drawing, you want to add color. You may use colored pencil or crayons or markers, whatever you have. You can see here I'm layering my colored pencils. And I'm using a few different shades of yellow and a little bit of orange to make it pop. Actually, I added a little bit of red too. When you color, try to be careful with your coloring and try keeping the lines all in one direction. Actually, if you remember from previous videos, when I color, sometimes I color in one direction and then color in the other direction to make the color pop and make it nice and bold. You can see for my sunset, I'm going to add a few different colors together and mix them by just coloring right on top. That helps them blend. Another thing to think about when you're adding color is how can you add value? Value is when you have dark areas and then light areas. And you can see I'm creating some value on my waves by having light areas and dark areas.
I can't wait to see what you decided to fly over. Really, it could be anything. It could be something in real life or something more in a fantasy kind of world, or you could maybe fly over maybe one of your favorite video games, like perhaps you're in a Minecraft world and you're flying over something there. It really could be anything you would want. So I really look forward to hearing more about that and seeing what you do. As always, don't forget to fill out the Google form when you're done. And if you'd like to share your art with me, you can share it via email. You can email me on Schoology, or you can always share on Flipgrid. This week I got to show a couple more classes how to use that maybe a little better. So I would love for you to get on there and just give a little shout out. Hey, Mrs. Norelli, my name is, and then you say your name and then you show your artwork. So that's all you gotta do when you get on there. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, friends, stay creative.